Hello and welcome back to the Making Fire podcast. This is a podcast where two longtime besties talk about their favorite TV show, Survivor. This week we are covering episode 3 of Survivor Heroes versus Villains. But before we get into all this excitement, I have to ask the Caleb Heron of Survivor, how are you this week?
I'm doing so good. You know, growing up, I would get made fun of for being fat and gay a lot, but you know what? It's really paying off for me now. It's a whole new world we're living in. 2025 is bringing on new things, new journeys, new adventures, and I love that that's happening for us. I'm doing really good. I was gonna talk about this week. When it happened, I think last week, it was much more permanent. I don't know if anybody's really talking about it now. It's weird because Maddie and I are recording at different points of the week now. Now that we're not watching Survivor live, we're much more flexible with our scheduling. But I have to talk about Audra McDonald's Tony performance, because that has just been living in my mind rent free for the last however many days. Audra McDonald played Rose in the revival of Gypsy on Broadway, and it was just such a great performance. She was Tony nominated. She did not win. She lost to Nicole Schwarzenegger from the Pussycat Dolls, famously, who also did a role revival, which is crazy. But Audra's performance is so good. I'd highly recommend it to anybody that's watching. If you're, to play into my gayness, if you are in a happy pride, if you are a music theater, even if you're not a musical theater lover, just look up Audra McDonald. That's certified living legend, icon, amazing, most Tony Award wins ever. I guess for like an acting performance ever, maybe. But she is so great. I highly recommend it. Also, I don't know, just to talk about media again, as we always do. Love Island. The past couple of weeks have been iffy, but the last 3 days, as we're recording this on June 18th, so the last 3 episodes, the Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday episode. There's not going to be an episode tonight because it's Wednesday. Ugh, that actually just broke my heart. But the last 3 episodes have been so good. Jump in now if you want to jump in. It's a slow burn to the drama, but the drama is drama-y. That's all I'm gonna say. The drama is giving what it needed to give.
How long is each episode?
It depends. They're at least like 40. They're at least like an hour.
No way.
Yeah.
That is so much content.
With ads. It is a lot of content. A lot of it's filler. Like, I'll get to the point where I will, and like the thing is like not, some episodes like literally nothing happens. Like there's some episodes there's not a challenge, there's not a recoupling, there's not a date. Like sometimes it's just like them talking for an hour. Which I've learned that like that's sort of like my background episodes, or like I'll like read my book while that's on, and then if stuff starts happening I'll like stop for a second and watch. But there's been a lot of drama the last couple days. Let's make it so worth it. Hurricane Huda. I will say, if anybody is watching Love Island and they want my opinion on what's happening, I think Huda and Jeremiah are both certified insane. I don't think either of them are in the right. I think they're both clinical. So, there's that. And Amaya is my number one stan. That might be a controversial opinion, but I'm obsessed with Amaya. And I want her to stay in the villa as long as she possibly can. I want her to I think she's a strategic mastermind, and she did a 3-2-1 vote the other night. She controlled that situation, which was amazing. And I think she paired up with Austin, this last spoiler. I don't know. If you watch, at this point, it's going to have been out for a couple of days. But she paired up with Austin last night. And do I think she actually likes Austin? No. I think she's a businesswoman, and she's waiting till Casa Amor so she can find a real man that she's obsessed with, but she knew Austin would be her best chance for staying in the game. And she was very smart for making that decision. So that's all I'm going to say on that. I'm enjoying it. I'm excited for tomorrow, I guess. Tomorrow's episode. Maddie, how are you doing?
I am so good. And you know what? I think maybe this is the time for me to get into Love Island and to have, like, I need a good background show.
Right.
Because the thing I want to talk about this week, after lots of deliberation, probably putting this off for like a year at least, I restarted my Animal Crossing island this week. That is sort of huge for me. I had never done that before. I had been rocking with my same island since end of 2021, and I was just at this point where I'm like, I love this game, but like I'm just not really feeling my island. Like there's just too much work that needs to happen for me to change it up, and I need something to like reinvigorate it. And after talking with my siblings this weekend and my family and playing some Animal Crossing together, they restarted their island. Shout out to our fans. They restarted their island a little bit ago, and I was like, you know what? It's time. So I did it. I'm so far loving it. It's so much fun again. If anyone is wondering, my airport color is, it's brat green. And at first I was like, I don't know if I'm necessarily feeling that. Like, was it brat summer last year? I don't know about this year. Then one of my first villagers on my island is Diva. And I was like, okay, we have the brat green.
Isn't
we have
she a
Diva.
frog?
No,
Oh.
what is Diva? Oh, she is a frog.
Word.
She doesn't really look like a frog. She is purple. And she is definitely a diva. She's not super nice, so that's interesting. But then to play it into my, the brat green thing, my island fruit tree is also pears, so which are very
Wow.
cute. And so I just had to talk about that. It's been so much fun, and just having things on in the background has been really nice while I'm playing and just sort of, putting together my island. I'm really excited. Tomorrow I will have a museum. The museum is coming.
Work.
And just, I don't know. I'll get back to you maybe in a few months on if I regret my decision to redo my island, because I know that's like a common thing is people end up regretting it. But so far, I'm having a great time. And at this point in time, I would recommend it if you have been in like a rut for multiple years. So that's that.
Work. Get your money's worth. Are you gonna buy the Switch too?
No.
Work.
I will not be practicing that. You cannot tell me that is different enough from the first Switch, and that price is truly crazy. Anyways, at this point in time, I do recommend an Animal Crossing Island reset, and have a lot of fun. I love that game. But the other thing we have to talk about our TikTok this week. So welcome to all our new subscribers. From that, yeah, that was crazy. We had
That was weird.
It wasn't weird. We had a couple videos just sort of pop off this week.
Guys, 16,000 people saw one of our TikToks, which I think for our niche, that is a lot of people. I think in the grand scheme of TikTok, that's not a lot, but like if you think about how specific our content is.
And we're not even covering a current season of Survivor.
Right.
So that was pretty fun. I love everyone's comments and everything. And shout out to anyone who's made it over to YouTube. I would love if, a fraction of those people sort of hop over.
If y'all want to join the fun on TikTok, though, at Making Fire Pod.
Yes, the Instagram is definitely not as like getting into
Which I don't
it.
really know how, because it's the same exact content just on Instagram, so I don't really know how to fix that, but
I don't either. And honestly, I'm fine. Like, I just feel like that's where we are in like a lot of media at this point.
Right.
Like the fun, silly, like, sorry to Instagram Reels users, it's not the same, and it's just not the vibe over there. So but also do what you got to do. Anyways. Are we ready to get into this episode?
yes, of course.
Of course. Okay. This was such a fun episode. Like, this felt so just good Survivor to me. Lots of fun little things throughout it, and I had a really great time watching this episode. We open on the Heroes Tribe after they get back to camp from Tribal, and James is still holding on to a lot of that frustration from the events from the previous episode, and everyone else is like, okay, let's maybe be a little bit more gentle on each other.
Right.
Let's just take a little beat and not dwell on all of this. JT apologizes to Tom for going back on his alliance with Tom and Steph, and Colby and Tom are talking, and Colby's like, I don't know if this game is for me. It's so cutthroat and so intense, and Tom's just like, yeah, that's kind of how it is.
Like, you've played Survivor 2 times. This is your third time. I need you to get a grip with reality. What did you think? Like, All Stars was no walk in the park. Maybe that's why he went out. I think he went out pretty early that season, but do you, like, do you not know what you signed up for?
Maybe he just thought that the heroes would be, like,
More forgiving?
Yeah.
I don't know. There are a couple villain, like, James and JT are both sort of in their villain era right now.
Yeah.
And, like, JT is fully lying to everybody around him, and James is just, like... James is just fighting back, period. Like, he's not letting nothing stand in his way.
Not at all. Yeah, it's sort of an interesting heroes group. But...
And they don't get along.
No, they don't.
It's just interesting. It's just interesting is all.
Very. So then at the villains camp that night, Russell and Parv are like snuggling up and giggling really loud and annoying everyone else. And I think that whole storyline this episode is really tough to watch.
It is.
It is just not fun. It's kind of icky to me.
What are the weird, like, I know Parv is like playing him.
Yeah.
It's just a weird dynamic. Like, Parvati and Russell. Obviously now, like, we just know that as the lore, but, like, watching live, I can't imagine being, like, so excited to see Parvati back, and she is working with Russell Hands. Like, that's... What an interesting group.
Yeah, and obviously I know Parv is playing it, but, like, Russell, I don't know. It's just gross to me.
Mm-hmm.
And then
he just gives off gross energy. Like, I
is.
don't like. It's just so he just he just feels icky. He just, like, the vibe he gives off, the way he talks, like the language he uses. I'm just like, I don't. Ooh.
I'm uncomfortable with just watching him.
Right.
Yeah. Boston Bob says that the key to sort of seeing people's alliances in Survivor is paying attention to who is sleeping next to who. And he's like, hey, I'm guilty of that too, though. So.
Which is pretty smart.
Yeah, it's true.
It's really setting a Boston Bob legend status.
Exactly.
Survivor mastermind.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And Bob points out, I'm just going to keep on Bob. Bob points out that Russell and Parv and Coach and Jerry have been obvious since the beginning, and the sleeping arrangements aren't helping that. Ugh.
I can't. Would you fight against the law? It's not law to sleep. Like, what would you fight against the ideology that you sleep next to people?
I feel like, do I agree with that, or would I do it?
Would you do it? Would you be like, I'm sleeping with who I'm most comfortable with, or would you just, like, sleep?
I think I'd want to be. Yeah, I think I'd want to be close to, like, who I'm friends with.
I just think it's hard not to. It's weird, though, because it's such a dead giveaway that you would think something so simple wouldn't be strategy, but it really is just a reflection of your cards.
And I think it's even more interesting, though, on these 2 tribe splits in the beginning where there's so many people in the game, because when you're in, like, these new era tribes of 3, there's not really that many people there.
Right.
So, like, you're really sleeping next to all of them anyways.
Yeah.
But having these, like, really big tribes in the beginning, I think, yeah, it's just a lot more obvious. So, yeah.
Much more intentional.
Exactly. Back at the heroes the next morning, vibes are incredibly low again. And I thought it was interesting, Rupert saying that he wished the day would be rainy so that they could all have a day in the shelter together, bonding and hanging out.
That's the old school Survivor stuff. Like, you don't get extra days on new school Survivor. This is like, I just want a day where we can sit in the shelter and talk.
And hang out as a
out.
group.
Make friendship bracelets.
I know. It's kind of, I like that though. Like, I like
like
those
the
moments.
right, like being able to just take a breather for a second.
A little tribe unity.
Right. You and I do I. You know that song?
No.
Work. Queen Latifah, let's get her on the pod.
Okay. Then they notice that the chickens have sort of gotten loose, and they do have a bonding moment over catching them all again.
How long, how would you ration the chickens out? I don't know. Like, at what point do you just kill them? Oh, is that too much?
I mean, they're only a week in.
I guess, but how often are they producing? I don't know the anatomy of chickens, I hate to say. Like, how often do they produce eggs? And, like, are they even are they in the right, like, I would assume those chickens are really scared right now. Like, I'm really scared. I would assume those chickens are really scared. Like, are they producing a lot of eggs under fear?
That's a good question. And I guess, what are they also eating?
With the chicken, or just are you mean, like, what are the chickens eating? I know, and I think that is a big part of their diet as well. Like, are they eating the right stuff to produce healthy eggs?
And
Get, like, the nice...
I know nothing about chickens.
I'll contact my local FFA and see if I can get an 11th grader in on this pod, and they can really explain the in-depth reality of chickens.
Chickens, right? Yeah, I don't think I'm a chicken girl. Like, I don't think I would ever want chickens. I don't really want to like take care of them just for some eggs, but like I don't eat enough eggs.
Well, you know the price of eggs these days.
Not even really that bad. Like, I'm getting...
Oh, she's rich. Oh, she is rich. Oh, y'all heard that. $5. Oh, y'all heard that. That's not even that big of a deal. Oh, okay.
They were high. They weren't even available. There were times I went to Costco and there were no eggs.
We see where you're lying. Just know, class consciousness. When we overthrow the top 1%, we know who we're going for.
The top 1%. Right.
Oh, but didn't you just buy a house? Oh, okay. Nope, it's okay. Got it. Everything. Everybody, write that down. Write that down.
And you know what? You guys could do it too if you pulled yourself up by your bootstraps.
Nobody wants to work these days. You're not living the American dream like I live the American dream.
No,
Ameri, yes, she can.
I am American.
I love Drop Dead Gorgeous. I love that movie. What's the theme for this year's pageant? The theme for this year's pageant is Amira, yes. What is it? Is it like America, yes I can? Yes she can?
I think so. I haven't seen that movie in
Amira,
years.
yes I can. Let me look it up. Hold on. You keep talking.
So then we go back to the villains, and Coach is warning Russell about following Parv around and says that she's the most dangerous player and not to fall into her charm trap. And Boston Rob then joins the convo and is like, yeah, Russell, watch out. She's dangerous. And your relationship with her is ostracizing you from the rest of the group. And Russell is annoyed about this because he is like, why should I listen to them? Coach is an idiot. And Rob wants to be everyone's daddy. Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day. Okay, wait, can I read the quote?
Yeah.
I did find it. Drop Dead Gorgeous is a mockumentary movie. I'd highly recommend anybody watch it. It's really funny. She said, the guy asks, what's the theme for last year's pageant? And she said, last year, it was Buy American. The year before that, USA is A-OK. And then can you remember the theme of your favorite pageant? Can I? I'm Amir, I can. People ask me where I get this. I don't know. It's maybe a gift from God or something.
Why are you kind of giving Chrissy?
Thank you. Thank you.
That was very good. Thank you. But yeah.
Boston Rob, I think, okay, so the hard thing with Russell is that nobody knows he's so egotistical and he needs to be empowered 24/7. Like, I think he kind of gives that, but like, if Rob knew the type of game that Russell played, Rob would have been much more careful about him being like a dominant person. But it's not even like that. Like, it's not even that he's just leading the tribe. You know what I mean? Like, Russell could easily take that role if he led the charge. All Rob is doing, Rob just wants a better shelter for himself. Rob is just
Exactly.
like, we need to make a better shelter because I'm not sleeping on the ground. You know what I mean?
And Russ is like, I'm gonna hide the machete.
If A plus B is C, if
Oh,
1 plus 1
Boston
is
Bob wants to
2,
be so in charge.
right,
This
I'm gonna hide the
stupid
machete.
shelter.
Girl, bye. Girl, bye.
Yeah, so Russell then lets Parv know about this little warning conversation that he had. And in her confessional, she's like, "Oh, but I'm just so sweet and innocent. I don't know why anyone would think that."
She's just a girl and she's on fire. That's her whole brand.
Yeah.
She's
I
just a
kinda-
silly girl.
I love her for it. Later that night, still with the villains, Coach is telling some stories that no one cares about. And Russell, this is where he decides, you know what? I'm sick of this. I'm going to cause a little bit of chaos, and I'm going to hide that machete. So, so they can't eat the chickens, they can't open coconuts, they can't start the fire, and so he goes in the woods and he hides it. And I think this is so funny.
Like, why? Why is that your next logical step? You said, I want to spice it up. Let me make everybody, including myself's lives terrible.
Because that's the thing, though, is that he doesn't care about anything. Like, he doesn't care that their shelter sucks. Like, he just hates that people are bossing him around. Or, like, not even bossing him around, but just, like, that people see not him as leader. And I just need more of this sort of, not like, I don't need Russell Hanson's energy in current day Survivor, but I do need the, like, little mischievous, like, let me hide the machete. That's awesome.
Right.
And he even says, you know what? Boston Rob in his little hat. I'm going to hide that next. Like, that's so funny.
Leave the hat alone. How will we know who he is without the hat?
Exactly. How will they know he's from Boston?
Right. It's a Houston Astros all the way, baby.
Yeah. Yeah. So, in general, not a Russell fan, but I do have to give him sort of this moment.
You have to give him his
Unfortunately.
tens. I can never give you your tens. I don't like you, but I can give you an 8.
Right. In the morning, still with the villains, Coach is doing some energy centering on the beach. Love that for him.
You know, he invented yoga.
Yeah.
He did.
Wow, that's crazy.
I heard that.
Where'd you hear that from?
People.
He told me that.
He told me. He invented yoga.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. His, like, little open shirt, the little ponytail thing.
Right. Girl,
Yeah.
the little feather in his hair in the back.
Yeah.
Girl, you can't just be picking up feathers. Ew. You cannot just be doing that. In the middle of the like, no. Baby, you're gonna spread bird flu to you and your tribe, and then what?
And then
Rob
what?
was already down once.
Yeah. What shelter are you gonna go back home to?
Exactly.
Yeah. Then Randy wants to open up a clam for everyone to snack on a little bit. So everyone's waking up in the morning and he goes over to the shelter and he's like, hey, anyone want some of this? If I get this open? So BTW, where is the machete? Anyone see that?
Also, group huddle. We're doing our morning team review. I'm just wondering if anybody knows where the machete got placed.
But unfortunately, no one seems to care about the machete, and also no one wants any of Randy's clam.
Oh, so when 2 episodes ago, Boston Rob gets the clam, everybody's fiending for the clam. But then when
Yeah.
Randy brings back the clam, that's a no-go.
No one wants Randy's clams.
No. Why would
No.
you? No shade.
No, where's Randy from? Because, like, Boston Rob, he's like seafood,
Right.
He probably knows what to do with it.
Randy's a mailman.
What does he know? What does he know about clams?
What does he know about clams? Just like he was like, what does Courtney know about construction? What do you know about clams?
Yeah, mailman. Ugh. Mailmen are great people. Shout out. But yeah, then he decides to smash it open on a rock, which that montage was quite funny.
He's from Austin, Texas.
Oh.
Oh, wait. He has 2 hometowns listed. Eagle Rock, Missouri, and Austin, Texas. So.
Interesting.
Right.
So after he breaks open his clam on the rocks,
Clam on the rocks.
he's getting a little frustrated. He shares a little bit of the clam with Parv, who says it makes her want to throw up. And Sandra takes a little bit of it too and was like, okay, not sure about this. But Randy is super annoyed about this whole situation. He's annoyed with like, general ungratefulness, and he sort of talks to Coach about this, about how so many people on their tribe just want to sit around and look pretty all day.
Ungratefulness, but I'm like, if I don't like clam, I don't like clam. Like, I don't know what to tell you. If I think it tastes, I'm not gonna, it would be ungrateful. No, that wouldn't be ungrateful, but it would just be a waste of resources if I ate it anyway and didn't like it.
Yeah.
I'd rather give it to people who will enjoy the food.
Yeah. And that's another thing. He was annoyed because he's like, well, it's going to go bad. It's been out of the water for a while. We have to eat it. And I think Courtney's like, well, you can just have a little bit of it.
Right, Courtney. And then Tyson was like, eat half of it and throw it away.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, we don't want to eat the clam.
No one wants the clam.
I don't know if nobody wants Randy's clam. I don't think I mean, if you cooked it, probably, but I wouldn't eat it raw like that.
No.
No.
Okay, back at the Heroes, Candace and JT are talking, and they're talking a little bit of strategy. And my favorite quote, one of my favorite quotes of the episode, JT says that he's scared of how, quote, strategical Candace is. Right.
On the most recent episode of one of the most recent episodes of Love Island, Huda is crashing out and she says, "He's her scapegoat. He's her scapegoat," instead of saying scapegoat.
Yeah, so Candace is just too strategical for JT, and so he's like, maybe she needs to go next, because that is scary. And in this conversation, she sort of is talking about, we don't get to hear necessarily the end of her sentence, but she's like, I think Suri is trustworthy if, and then she starts talking. I think she's like, well, if Suri feels like safe, probably something like that. But then JT goes to start spreading some messiness with everyone else, and he tells Suri that Candace said she doesn't fully trust you. Hey, by the way, watch out.
Hey, heard this through the grapevine.
And so then Suri takes this information directly to Candace, which I love. And she's like, hey, so feeling a little bit uneasy about us at the moment. I heard you were talking about me. Huh? What was that about?
What's tea?
And Candace is like, that's not what I said, actually. Who told you that? And Suri's just like, well, I just sort of, I heard it. Just want to let you know. So Candace then starts running around to lots of people who are like, hey, did you tell Suri this? Because I definitely didn't say that.
I love this montage of her going up to every single person.
She goes up to Tom. She goes up to Amanda. And my favorite, she goes up to James. And James is like, I didn't hear anything about that. I don't know who said that, but you need to chill out. You are doing too much, girl. Girl, chill out.
Girl, take a chill pill. She's kind of meat-coated.
No, I would also be like flipping out if someone came up to me and was like, hey, I heard you said this about me and it's not what I said. I'd be like, where did you get that information from?
I don't feel like it would have hurt Suri's game had she told Candace that she heard it from JT. Like, I think it would have ultimately hurt JT's game more than it would have hurt Candace's game.
Yeah.
If Suri, sorry, it would have hurt Suri's game. If Suri had just been like, hey, I heard this from JT, what's tea? Mm-hmm. And then they compared notes, I think it would have made JT look worse. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I don't think it would have put Suri in a bad spot.
It would have been a nice bonding moment for Candace and Suri, because Candace would be like, oh my gosh, Suri came to me with this information to like clear things up.
Right.
Yeah.
But also I'm like, I wonder how many conversations Candace had talking about Suri, because you'd think from the edit we see that Candace should have immediately have been like, oh, JT is talking about me, because they just had a conversation about Suri.
But even Amanda was like, no, you've only said nice things about Suri. Like, I don't know what you're talking about.
It's the way that Candace brings it up every single time. It's not like, have you heard anything about me talking about Suri? It's always, have you heard me say anything bad about Suri? Yeah. No, right? Like, I wouldn't say anything bad about Suri. Like, I love Suri, right? Girl, are you trying to convince me, or are you trying to tell me what is going on?
That's a good point. Oh, okay. Well, we get to the immunity/reward challenge. This is so classic Survivor. Mm-hmm. Oh my god.
There's so many like iconic moments from this challenge.
It's so good. So basically they have to square off one-on-one using this cushion-shaped sort of bag thing. And they need to block and shove the other person off this little platform and into the mud. And the first team to 8 wins. Jeff makes sure to clarify legs are not allowed to be used as weapons. And both hands must stay on the bag while you're beating each other.
A lot of bags. A lot of physical bag challenges this season.
Yeah. So physical this season. The reward is a week's worth of rice and some coffee, and most importantly, their luxury personal items that we didn't get to see this episode.
Right.
Like, you would think when they're talking about it, at any point maybe we would see it.
Luxury items used to be a huge deal. Like, early seasons of Survivor, like, the luxury items played, like, flashback to star of the show, Colby. In Australian Outback, his luxury item was a giant Texas flag that they used as a tarp.
Like, I love that.
Well, I wonder, yeah, we don't get to see all that fun stuff anymore.
I just love the personal flair that it adds.
Right. You really learn a lot about a person about what items they bring.
Exactly. Yeah, I wish they would bring something like that back. But it gets so crazy, this challenge. So the first round is Russell versus Tom, and Tom easily kicks Russell's butt. Right. No question. Next, Parv and Candace, and it's a pretty even fight, but Candace wins. Then Rupert versus Coach. Coach basically takes his hand off the bag and sort of karate chops Rupert in to the mud. So Jeff is like, hey, not doing that. You need to redo it. Coach flips off Jeff, which is crazy.
Man, Coach celebrates for like 30 seconds before he realizes that the point doesn't matter.
Fully going full
I love his full
mode.
like, I'm like, and the rain too is coming down.
The mud too.
Right.
Oh, yeah. But no. Then in this redo, Rupert easily makes Coach sort of just slide into the mud. And really from this point on, the thing is so slippery. Like, no traction whatsoever. Jerry and Suri are next, and it's an immediate win for Suri, pretty much. JT and Tyson. JT knocks Tyson in.
I love that Tyson gets the mud off of where JT's gonna stand.
Yeah. Then we have Colby versus Boston Rob, and this one's sort of a big fight, but Colby scores. And then finally we have Randy versus James, and James gives one single hit and Randy's off that thing.
It was a pretty big hit too. Like, it wasn't just a little, it was like a full like push back.
He'd been waiting to do that to someone.
Right.
He's had a lot of pent up anger. And so, you know, if you're keeping track of all that, you will notice that the villains did not score a single point.
James, after he knocks Randy in, fully throws the bag onto Randy.
I know.
Like, projectile, not like tosses it. Does a full like down onto Randy. Yeah, the villains don't score a single point, which the first two immunity challenges was some sort of puzzle element. This one was just pure strength. And look, on paper, you would think that, and even the last two challenges, the heroes dominated the strength parts of the challenges.
Yeah, they really do.
So
it's pretty impressive. And I even think it's funny after, I don't remember what was said, but James was even like yelling after the challenge, and they're like, hey, calm down. Hey, yeah. No.
And Courtney at one point was like, James, I told you should have been on the villain tribe.
Yeah. I mean, really? Yeah. He's definitely
What's T?
We go back to the villain camp, And Tyson says that the heroes must have eaten some steroid sandwiches before that challenge because of what was going on. And he also says that the look in their eyes made him worried for their sanity.
No, it was the way that Colby was cheering at the way that they were. I was like, oh, the desperateness is not a good look on y'all. Like,
No, they needed that win.
right. Like, it's not giving what y'all think it's giving.
No, not at all. Randy says that when talking about who to vote for tonight, they need to get Parv out ASAP because she is dangerous, especially once she meets up with her hero buddies if she makes it to the merge. Then Coach and Parv are in the water chatting, and Parv is like, I know you want me out. Like, no, I know what's going on here. I know who you're talking to. I know all of that. And in his confessional, he says that she can't just bat her eyelashes and wiggle her hips to get her way with him.
Baby, those are lyrics to the Hokey Pokey.
Yeah.
He's a man of honor and integrity. He's been
we'll
a college women's soccer coach for 13 years, and he's never let any of those women get their way.
No, and I'm like, well, that's a very different situation.
Right.
Then a bunch of the villains are together talking about whether they should take out Parvati or Randy tonight. And they're like, Parv has her powerful charm and relationships, but Randy really is the weakest link on our tribe, so maybe we should go for him. And then a funny moment, Parvati, Danielle, Coach, and Jerry are talking about who to vote for tonight. And they're Randy gets brought up, and Jerry's like, no, like, I don't know if we should go for him tonight. Like, you know, he might not be the strongest, but like maybe we should still keep him around, like whatever. And Parv is like, okay, well then, if not Randy, then who? Name names. And Jerry's like, no, I don't like have anyone in particular in mind or anything. And she's like, oh, but name names. Like, clearly, if you don't want to vote for him, like who?
I was just gonna say, like, this is like how like, Jerry was brought back because she's an icon of Survivor. Like, she's just a figurehead. Parv was brought back because she adds something to the game. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm, that spice.
It's the spice, and it's like, oh no, like, her head is in the game. Like, she is playing.
Like, she's not letting anyone get away with these little comments or, like, trying to say something without say something. She's like, no, say it then. Like,
right.
Clearly you're thinking something. And then Coach, we get a final confessional from Coach this episode. And he looks like near tears. He's sort of going through a lot in his head. Because, guys, he is the only honorable person out there on that beach. The only one. And to prove this, he does pull out an MLK quote and is like, you know, we've got to just stick to our honor here. And what else does he say? Oh, hope. There is hope.
Very of the moment. You think of President Obama to 2010s.
Yes.
Very hope. Very we will keep fighting the fight.
We'll fight the good fight.
Pre-Osama bin Laden assassination, like, a lot is going on. Sorry, y'all, I just finished reading Obama's book.
Oh.
Yes.
Love. Wow. So, I'm just glad that we have someone of honor on this beach.
I know, somebody had to be honorable on the not on the hero. You'd think that'd be on the heroes tribe. That's where you're mistaken.
You're mistaken at his Coach. And he was just put on the villains tribe, guys.
Ah, God. Okay, I know I talked my shit about Coach when we did our little cast, like, view. Mm-hmm. But there's just something about him that I'm like, no, like, don't get it mixed up. I'm not laughing with you. I'm laughing at you.
Yes.
And, like, I am just thinking about him in South Pacific and his, like, it's just so strong. This, like, idea is like, oh, I'm the holy one.
Always. I just love his commitment to the bit.
Right.
Like, he is this honorable dragon slayer, and that is who he is.
I wonder what the people, like, the girls that he coached, like, do you think they're laughing with him, or do you think they're laughing at him?
That's such a good question. I have no idea what it would be like to be on his soccer team. Like,
should we get one of them on the pod?
Yeah. He's apparently a lot of girls that have been on his team. So.
Right.
Yeah. Well, this brings us to Tribal. They discuss relationships and who people are, like, I don't know. This is mostly just directed at Parvati about her relationships with people in the Heroes tribe, and what that could look like for her and others going into the merge. They talk about strength in challenges, who their leader is, and how bad their camp is. And Sandra says that Coach wants to be a leader, but he's never around. And he takes great offense to that.
Great offense to this. I'm surprised. Like, I feel like this could have been Sandra's downfall this season. Like, this really could have been. But she just always, something about her, and I think in this pre-two-time winner era, she is able to get away with it because it's like, I guess I wonder how she's able to get away with it. That's what I mean to say. Like, she really just says shit about people to their face.
Yeah.
And gets away with it.
And that's part of her charm.
It is. I think people underestimate her strategic ability because of her mouth.
Like, well, she says it like it is. So,
right.
Like, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I love that for her. Another favorite quote of the episode, Sandra says that they have no machete right now, and that she thinks it grew legs and walked off.
Another iconic Sandra moment.
She's great.
It walked off.
Jeff's
like, you don't have a machete? She's like, no, it mysteriously disappeared.
No. Yeah. Gone.
I love it. I forget, she was going on like a rant, and at some point she goes, and on top of that, we don't have a machete. It's too good.
It is too good. Yeah. And they also talk about the general lack of cohesiveness around camp and the lack of urgency that they have in sort of any way. And really, they're just a tribe of silly misfits.
Silly little misfits.
Yep. And
I think there's a Christmas song about that.
Is there?
About misfits. Misfit Toys. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Are you familiar? The Island of Misfit Toys.
Oh, I don't know if I know that song super well.
I don't know if that's a song. Now that I'm saying it out loud, I think it's just a plot point in the movie.
Oh, in the movie. Interesting. Yeah, you'll have to get back to me on that. But really, this sort of wraps up Tribal. They get to the vote, and it's Randy going home. Unanimously, Randy is going home. And he does decide to throw sort of a random vote over to Boston Rob just to send him a little message. He says whether he gets that message or not is up to him.
I wonder, like, why does God damn it, why does Rob need the message? Like, why is that the person you're like?
Yeah. Like, you would think that it would be, like, Coach or something.
Right. I don't know. I don't think Rob led the vote against Randy.
No, it really did not feel that way.
It's just interesting. That's all I'm going to say. Survivor Gabon, these are the only two people, Sugar and Randy are the only two people from Gabon that have ever come back. And they go home pretty early, which is so sad. I love Survivor Gabon. Such a funny season of Survivor. So many great people that could have been back. Kenny could have been brought back. Crystal, Susie. Oh no, I lied. Corinne comes back. Corinne comes back for Fans vs. Favorites too.
Yeah.
But she also doesn't really do great on that season. So.
Yeah.
Well, sorry, Randy.
Sorry, Randy.
Sorry about your. Hope you find your dad.
And that wraps up this episode. I feel like it was just so fun, classic Survivor. Yes.
Can we do a quick 180 real quick?
Yeah.
Did you see the cast of Traitors 4?
Yeah. Guys, why?
Okay, but Monet Exchange is on.
There are some high highs. And then there's some deep lows.
Deep low lows. I'm excited for Monet Exchange. Excited for the lesbian chef. Oh my god, but did you see that the other lesbian chef who's not lesbian, she's really straight, died yesterday?
I did see that.
Thought she was a lesbian, she's not. Miss Anne, last name, I can't remember her last name. Chef Anne from Worst Cooks in America.
I did see that.
Our Survivor, since we're talking about Survivor, Jam Jam, Rob Sesternino, and Natalie Anderson. Whoa, what a great group of people. What a great group of Survivor reps. That's classic.
That is a great group.
That's iconic.
Other people, I do not care to see Donna Kelsey on.
Oh, girl, the Swifties are gonna come after us for that one.
Well, that's only if they watch to the end of this podcast. No, not into that. I think it's interesting that Dorinda's back.
Yeah, I don't really need to see Dorinda again.
A lot of people are excited, but I'm like, kind of after all the conversations that she had
Specifically with like Bob.
with Bob, I'm like, I'm just not interested.
Like, I don't think she's gonna be able to handle herself. Like, I don't see a world in where she
was just so caught up in that. Mark Ballas will be fun. I love a good Dancing with the Stars. Lisa Rinna, that's fun.
Tiffany is going to be amazing. Rob R from Love Island will also be really great. I've heard Maura Higgins is a really fun personality from Love Island. I haven't watched her stuff, but
We have 2 figure skaters.
I saw somebody post that this season is going to be airing around the time of the Olympics.
Oh,
So
that
that's
makes sense.
probably why they had the figure skaters on there. So excited for Monet Exchange and Portia. Lisa Rinna.
Yeah, Lisa Rinna's gonna be so fun.
It's a good. Yeah, you said there's some high highs, there's some low lows, and then there's some question marks on there.
I think I'm generally less excited about this cast than I am about last season's.
How would you compare this cast to Survivor 50?
I'm more excited about Survivor 50.
People have been comparing Survivor 50, House of Villains, and this season and Traders.
I'm more excited about Survivor 50. I think my biggest thing, I'm so sick of them only casting one drag queen a season.
Right.
But then, like, why do we have 2 figure skaters? Or, like,
Right.
all these random other people? Like, I get annoyed how so much of Traders really is, like, at least in the beginning, you are sort of grouping together with people from your same sort of show or, like, world. And it's super frustrating that they just keep casting only one drag queen, but then expect them to do well with other people that, like, don't know, like, how their humor, like, the queen's humor is, like, how, like, the performance of it all. They're just, like, very caught off guard. And I'm like, let's give these queens, like, other people that want to work with them and, like, that get them. Because, like, sorry to the figure skaters for catching all the these strays, but, like, why are we having 2 figure skaters on? But, like, only one person from one of the, like, the biggest reality TV shows ever.
Of the last 5-6 years.
And I would say, like, add so much more to, like, the fun of it all. Like, especially coming off of Bob the Drag Queen, like, you're really not going to give multiple spots
queens a
to
shot.
it. Yeah.
I will say Monet Exchange, of the 3 that have been on, Peppermint, Bob, and now Monet. Monet is the most strategically savvy of the 3. Monet
Yes.
loves Survivor, loves
Yes.
Big Brother.
I'm
Is
so
really
excited
into social
for her.
strategy. So I think of the 3, Monet probably has the best chance of sort of adapting within the group.
Yes.
Also, Bob was at a disadvantage. You know, his mom had just died before going out there. So I think Monet will be at a better standing socially, strategically than Bob was.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I agree with you. I think you should cast more people from Drag Race. There are so many good options. Mistress Isabel Brooks from season 15 is on All Stars 11. Not to spoil it for people who are watching, but specifically Maddie. But Mistress's run on the most recent, because there's like a bracket thing going on. Mistress's 3-episode run on All Stars 11, legendary. Going to go down in the history books of all-time reality TV performances. Get Mistress Isabel Brooks in the castle now.
Yeah.
That is all I'm saying. She's going to run it like the Navy. But no, I'm excited. I just like the Traders. There are some bad picks on there, but I'm sure we'll do Traders coverage again like we did last year for season 3 a little bit. So
Yes. I also, I'm just disappointed that Dorinda is, like,
right.
I just got to her season where she joins Roni, but I'm like, there's just so many other people from that cast that I would love to see. I would love
Right.
to see a Salt Lake girl on this cast.
Mary Crosby was rumored.
I know, but I don't know if Mary is necessarily, like, a great pick for this.
Let me
but
see. Here, you keep talking. Somebody posted a...
I don't know. I think overall I'm sort of looking forward to it, but I'm just, I don't know, a little bit not as excited about this season, but we'll see. Hopefully some people go home early, frankly. Yeah, or like bullied.
I'm excited for Rob. The
Yes.
person who was releasing the cast before the official cast announcement, reality TV news / updates, reality TV _ fan on Twitter. They were releasing it. They only released the first like 12 people at once, and then or like the first, I don't know. But there were no Love Island people from Love Island season 6 on there, and I said, "There's no way Peacock is not going to put a cast member from their most streamed reality TV season ever
Yeah.
on this." And then they put Rob on, and I said, "Oh yeah, work."
No, I think I'm excited. I still like the show, but
We'll see. We'll get there.
we'll get there. I think I don't know. I'm just like, why are you not playing to your audience a little bit more with some of these things? Like, you know who is your biggest fans of the Traitors?
The girls and the gays are tuning in.
Literally,
feed the girls and the gays.
Like, with all due respect, I don't know any other demographic that's like as into the Traitors as the girls and the gays. So,
I would
like,
agree.
Why? And maybe, you know what? Let's put my thinking cap on. Maybe it's because they want sort of a wider audience. I can see what they were doing with the Donna Kelsey thing. But am I excited about it? Absolutely not. I do not care.
I don't really, I don't understand Donna Kelsey. I mean, good for her. Does she have any strategic, you know what she's giving is Lord Ivar.
Yes.
She's giving Lord Ivar and what's his name? John, whatever.
Yeah, I was going to say the old bug. Yeah.
Maybe it's just because she's older, but no shade to Donna Kelsey. I'm sure she's a nice lady.
I'm sure she's great. Nothing against her, but I'm just like, this is like fun reality TV, and I want people on here who are like ready to bring it. And I think she isn't necessarily in that headspace.
I'm so excited for Tiffany, the Big Brother people, Tiffany and Ian. I think Ian's going to be an interesting one to watch as well. But
our Survivor people, I
Jam Jam?
I feel like I need to focus more on how excited I am to see Jam Jam back.
Jam Jam and Natalie Anderson. Rob Sessions, all three of them. All three of them for different reasons.
Yeah.
I really think we should put San Juan del Sur on our short list for a rewatch next summer or something.
Yes, we should.
I love one of my top 5. It's in my top 5 favorite seasons of Survivor. I love San Juan del Sur.
Amazing. Actually, I think that's a really good idea.
I think it is too.
Okay. Well, do you have any wrapping up thoughts?
I'm scrolling through to see because I know this person posted a list of. Oh, maybe they didn't. Maybe it was on their. Never mind. Forget I said anything.
Okay. Already forgotten. Anyways, thank you for watching this episode of the Making Fire podcast. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Making Fire Pod. And we will see you next week with episode 4 coverage.
I can't wait to see how this turns out.
Bye.
Smoochies.